Welcome to Ritual Scale Modelling. This is part 4 of the Battle of Kursk diorama scale to 172. In part 3 I put down the ground for the tanks and so forth, a bit of coverage and also the tanks. In part 4 I'm concentrating on the actual figures for the diorama, so I'm going to be building Russian and German figures. So let's get on with this. Well, to start with, I'm using the Eastern Front battle set figures. These, some of them you have to actually assemble, and it's just a couple of legs, some arms and the weapons. Sometimes when you're putting this together, the location points can be a little bit tight, so just be aware of that. You may have to actually cut off the location pin to get a better fit, but it shouldn't cause too much problem. Just make sure of the position before the glue sets. So now they're made up, it's time to paint them. And the first colour is Helm 61 Flesh, and that's self-explanatory. This is going to be for the face and the hands. Now I'm using a very small brush here and a magnifying glass to see what I'm doing. The 172 figures are okay detailed. Don't worry so much about the finer details like the eyes and so forth. You're not really going to see them anyway. But of course, feel free to paint them if you wish, but I never do. The next colour I'm using is Helm 155 Olive Drab, and this is for the helmet. Next is Helm 60 Scarlet, and this is for the officers only. They have a red slash going around the band of their cap. So this is what this colour is used for. Again, using a very thin brush. It's better to paint this in before you paint the actual main uniform colour in as well, just in case you have to cut in. For the rest of the cap, it's 62 leather by Helm, and this is all over on the officer's hat. And finally, it's 21 black gloss by Helm, and this is for the peak out of the officer's cap. I'm then switching over to Revel 89 Beige, and this is for the canvas satchels and things that hold on around the waist. As I'm going along, I'm using Pleasure Clear Polish as the varnish, just to protect the paint. So when I move on to other parts of the figure, my fingers are not going to rub off any of the paint, so that I don't have to go over it again. And so forth. It does actually save a lot of time. Then it's another switch to Mr. Hobby 81 Khaki, and this is for the main body of the Russian troops. And it's back to Helm 63 Sand. This is for more colouring on the webbing. For the weapons, it's Tamiya's X10 gun metal, and the wood stock is 110 natural wood from Helm. So the gunmetal and the wood colour makes up the weapon. Revel Aqua Colour 79 Greyish Blue. This is for the officers and the officers only trousers. They have a different colour to the normal troops. For the normal troops, it's Helm 249 RLM 79 Sanglabe, I think it's pronounced. And that's for the trousers for the normal infantry. So it's just a different shade from the actual body shades. And lastly is RC 401 Dirty Black by Helm, and this is for the boots. And once the boots are painted, that'll be it. So this makes up the Russian set of figures. As you can see, they're the different trouser colour from the officer to the troop. So it's now on to the German figures, and these have to be made up the same as the Russian ones. Similar problems with them, trying to build them. Again, as I said, you may have to snip off the location points in some of them to get them to fit. So once more, I'm starting off 61 Flesh for the hands and face. There's slight differences on the officers once more. So the actual cap is 75 Stone Grey. The peak is RC 401 Dirty Black by Helm, and the insignia is Revel 90 Silver. For the body of the troops it's 45 light olive, but this is only for the troops. The officers have a different colour. So the officer's body is 43 medium grey, and this is also for the legs on the officer as well. So it's all one colour for the officer. The German helm is 66 olive drab by Umbro. The legs is Umbro 125 US dark grey, and then I'll move on to the boots, which is 401 dirty black by Umbro. The weapons are painted the same as the Russians, so it's Umbro 110 natural wood, then it's Tamiya's X10 gun metal, just the two main colours. So that's basically the figures painted. I should point out that I did also purchase some of these Helm figures. These are German Panzer figures, scale 172. I wanted more figures than the Eastern Front supplied. I needed about another 5 or 6, so I purchased this set. The mould is not brilliant on these, but they give you plenty of figures to work with. And of course, they were painted in the same way. The only difference with these figures, that I didn't show you, was that they had the base still attached to the actual figure, which I cut off. So I thought I'd finished painting the figures, but it appears I'm going to have to repaint them all. After I painted them, I gave them a coat of Pledge Clear, just to lock in the paint, with the view of giving them a matte coat varnish afterwards. So that's exactly what I did. And unfortunately, which happens from time to time, I've got the white residue all over the figure. Just about make it out on the camera there. I'll put up a still photo so that you can see what I'm on about. Now, the matte I used was this Umbro Clear Matte Varnish. Now, I generally love this stuff and all the clear varnishes by Umbro. I think they're really good. The gloss one takes a long time to dry, but you know. So I've only had this once before, and it wasn't by the Umbro varnish. I can only assume it didn't interact well with the Pledge Clear, why I got the chalky white. But these things happen, and it's no drama really. All it means is I'll just repaint the figure. So that's what I'm doing now. Well, I'll bring this video to a close. I think there's no point going over what I've already painted. This end part of the video is what I've already shown you, actually, just to state the point that there's no point of going all over it again. The thing is, with the chalky white residue on the figures, it does happen from time to time. There's no need to get annoyed about it. It's a pain, but you just have to put it down to experience and carry on. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for the rest of my builds, particularly the build log for this particular build, the Battle of Kursk. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified of all my new content, as well as the up and coming videos for this build. Hit that like button, and of course leave a comment. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.